Time now for this week's Ask Kelly segment, your chance to ask me questions about really anything on your mind. And today's question comes from Linda in Washington, PA, who asked me, can you tell us more about the building that houses the Grand Concourse restaurant? We love eating there and would love to know more. Well, Linda, I don't think you're alone there. A lot of people enjoy having their meals there, and at the very least, we've all seen the building, but we may not know its true origins. So for this segment, we got with a guy who not only knows the history, but also may well be the reason that it's still there. This is the view so many of us are used to seeing coming across the Smithfield Street Bridge to Station Square. That tan building with detailed architecture and a sign at the top reading P and LERR. If you've never been inside, this is what you've been missing.
Look at this architecture.
Right.
And look up at the skylight. Look at that great fan light behind us. Come over here at 5 o'clock and watch the sunset through that stained glass in that fan light. There's nothing like it in Pittsburgh, and maybe not in the nation.
The building opened in 1901 as a hub for Pittsburgh and Lake Erie Railroad, hence the P and LERR. This building is now famously home to the Grand Concourse restaurant, which hosts thousands of visitors a year for meals and weddings. Arthur Ziegler is President Emeritus of the Pittsburgh History and Landmarks Foundation, and likely the reason we still have this building. In 1964, he saw the writing on the wall. Passenger train traffic was slowly dying, so was industry along the river. Soon, there may not be a need for this large of a train station, and he didn't want to see it go the way of many other historic buildings at the time by getting demolished. So he had an idea for a restaurant.
A lot of the power structure in Pittsburgh at that time said, it'll never work. You're across the river, you're not downtown, you're beside a railroad track. And we said, have you ever got across the river and looked back? It's a fantastic view.
It sure is. In the 70s, Arthur's organization purchased the building from P and LERR and then found a restaurateur from Detroit.
Got him to come here, and he said, I'll do it. I'll build the biggest restaurant in Pittsburgh, 380 seats plus a bar of 120, and I will do $2 million the first year. He was wrong. He did $3 million.
The Grand Concourse opened on September 28, 1978. Even though P and LERR has dissolved, the sign has been maintained for the sake of notoriety, and diners do still see trains rolling down the tracks. But if people come here and they do see a train go by and we can see the tracks out there, what are they seeing?
They're seeing freight trains.
Okay.
Long freight trains.
The bar at the Grand Concourse, called the Gandy Dancer Saloon, used to be the train station's ticket sales area and baggage room.
They come in, they love the architecture and everything about the building.
Donald Sankovich has been bartending since 1988 and explains the history behind the name Gandy Dancer.
They asked what a Gandy Dancer is, and it's the guy that ran the guys on the railroad. His name was Gandy, and the guys pounding the spikes, and they all went in unison, so they called them Gandy's Dancers.
Oh, I'm very glad it all worked. I'm relieved it all worked, and still works.
And in 1994, Arthur's company sold the property to a company from Cleveland, and now a company called Brookfield owns much of the space at Station Square, and recently, as you may have seen, put in an apartment complex not far from Grand Concourse. Very interesting to take a look back at that. So thank you, Linda, for the question. And if you at home have a question that you would like me to help you with, let me know. You can email me at askkelly@hearst.com, or jump straight in and send me a Facebook message.